I'm Brickroad. Welcome to the Revengers of Vegemite bonus video. I actually sat down recently with the only person in the world who's ever legitimately completed this game, and he was talking about his experiences with it. And while he was doing that, I was playing Mega Man. So, enjoy.
So this is for the Revengers of Vengeance bonus video, because eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed, of course, that I didn't actually finish the game.
That's understandable.
And at the time, I concluded that the game was unfinishable because I couldn't figure out if there was a way to, like, fight the last boss or what, and I didn't want to sit down with the third character and go through all that again. So, for some reason, my good pal SovanJedi here, say hi, Sovan.
Hello, Sovan.
Who you all may remember from our Secret of Evermore Let's Play a few years ago.
Who wouldn't forget that?
He comes on my internet magic box and he says, I want to play this game. Well, no, he said it in an accent. So, he didn't say...
Sorry, what?
I mean, you said, I want to play this game! Pip pip cheerio!
Shut up.
So he asked me, he's like, I need a Sega CD emulator and I need this ROM. So I gave him a link to the site where I downloaded the ROM, and then he disappeared for like 6 straight days.
It was a night, okay? I did it overnight.
He came back and he says, Brickroad, I have finished Revengers of Vengeance. And at first I called him a f***ing liar. But... But no, it turns out Sovan has actually finished Revengers of Vengeance. So he is here to tell us all about his experience. And how his vengeance has been revenged.
Oh, do I have to?
Yes.
Yeah.
You are contractually obligated.
Okay, where do I start?
Well,
you mentioned that you couldn't find anything on GameFAQs, which is true. There's only one FAQ, and it's really bare bones, and it doesn't really tell a lot.
Not only does it not tell you a lot, but it actually lies in some places. Like, it's actually false information.
What part?
Well, for example, the walkthrough says that you get 365 days to beat Venom, but you don't. In the game, it only gives you 200 days.
Oh no, that's true. It does say that. It's a very silly FAQ, and the maker should be very ashamed of himself.
So it's like, even if the information was accurate, there's still only like a page and a half of it. It's still not very good.
Yeah, it's basically unfinished, and it doesn't tell you anything about how to fulfill the requirements of beating the game. So I did a bit of internet sleuthing, and apparently, you probably know this site, that RPGamer or RPGamer or whatever it's called.
Oh my goodness, I have not been to that site since it was relevant in 1998.
I know. Well, I don't visit it very often.
That's some Web 1.0 stuff right there, man.
I know, and that site's for losers. But
I have a friend who writes for that site, so yeah, we'll just go ahead.
Yeah, but apparently they reviewed the game mostly because of the RPG element, and it actually goes in depth on how to finish the game and, you know, access the final boss and everything. So
wow.
Basically, here's what happens. The shopkeeper in the lower right corner of the village, the old man, he randomly sells you a book which allows you to dispel the magic surrounding the island in the bottom right corner of the map.
And you know what? I think I have seen that book in his shop, but I didn't buy it because, like, all the items in his shop, all the effects are usually they're just question marks.
Yeah, I know.
So
it's no...
I probably saw one that says dispel magic and had no idea what it does or why it would be useful. And even if I had bought it and used it, I would have no idea what it did.
Exactly. There's no indication of what these things do when you use them. I mean, I obviously had instructions, but I used it. There was just, you know, nothing. No, like, little cutscene showing the magic dispelling or any, like, Zelda nonsense. But, yeah, you use that book to dispel the magic, and then you can go to the island, and then you fight this kind of penultimate boss fight, which is a shady-looking character named Jabo? I've forgotten his name.
Jado. It sounds like a Killer Instinct reject.
Well, yeah, there's that ninja, Jago, so that's what I thought. Also, being a Pokemon fan, he does look a bit like a purple Deoxys, but I don't expect you to understand what I said there.
I'll put a picture of Deoxys in the video so the 3 of my subscribers who have never played Pokemon will know what you're talking about.
That's good. You're a good friend, and you deserve an extra crumpet for tea for that. But, yeah, so basically, you have to fight this Joker first, and, you'll like this. He absorbs projectile attacks.
Oh my god!
I know!
No.
Every time he blocks, he will just take up any projectiles that are coming towards him, and he will restore his health.
So even if I had gotten to that boss, there was, like, no chance I would have ever beaten him.
Absolutely not with the direction you were going. I mean, you can land the occasional hit where he doesn't block, but that's not going to happen often. Oh, and he's immune to throws as well.
Well, that's fine, because I can never figure out how to throw.
Yeah, but I mean, it applies to any kind of grab move, like the ones like Barco's bites attack. Like if he just latches onto the face and gnaws it off, he doesn't take any damage from it. It doesn't make any sense.
The elf girl that I was using, she had like that pommel strike, and then the witch girl had her little amazing bitch slap. So I guess I accidentally grabbed a couple of times.
Yeah, they wouldn't have done anything at all.
So what happens when you beat Jado?
Nothing really. Again, there's no indication, and the RP. How do you pronounce that site? RPGamer. I'm gonna go with RPGamer.
That's how I've always pronounced it. Some people say it's RPGamer, but I maintain that if it was supposed to be RPGamer, there would be 2 Gs.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the review on that site said that you needed a random drop from this boss fight in order to access the final boss Venom. But I don't think that's the case. Whatever happens, it's incredibly random, and it doesn't really tell you what you're supposed to do. I mean, you can go to the fortune teller, and at some point she'll say you're more than powerful enough to fight him, but again, there's no indication of what the requirements are to fulfill that.
So, we found the first inaccurate walkthrough on GameFAQs, and that one wasn't worth using. Then you found the second walkthrough on RPGamer, and that one wasn't accurate either.
No, it wasn't. No one has any idea of how to play this stupid game. Except me, apparently. I probably know more about this than anyone else now.
So, the fortune teller says you can go beat Venom, and then you go to the island, and then Venom's there?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I did it completely by random. I was going to go over there because he drops like 2,400 gold every time you beat him, so I thought I'd just get some money. And then he just turns up. He's like, "What's that? Why are you waking me up? I haven't even washed my face or cleaned my ears or anything." And he's like, "What's going on here?" And then you kind of fight him, and he's a pushover.
So, can you stunlock Venom with projectiles?
Well, yeah, he's vulnerable to projectiles. I mean, his attacks look quite dangerous. I mean, he's got, demonic powers from the black beyond. Ooh.
So,
but he can't.
Why is anybody so scared of this Venom clown if Jado is obviously the real threat?
I don't know. If there was something resembling a story to this game, that might help.
Well, if there was something resembling a story to this game, the player would have some kind of direction, wouldn't just have to do random stuff to try to figure out how to get to the boss fight.
I know, but it doesn't really matter because at this point you've probably leveled up so much. I mean, the playthrough I've sent you screenshots of, I purposely went ahead and tried to maximize the stats of my Rhino guy as far as I could. And, he just went down with 2 charge attacks. 1 per round.
Beautiful.
I know. And then after you beat him, you get like the stats results screen. Sometimes you might get an item, but you'll never know what it is because you finished the game at that point. And there's no new game plus to find out.
Of course.
And then you see like a ending cutscene pertaining to your character, and they're all happy, and everyone eats Cheerios and nut bread, and the game ends.
And that brings me to my next question, and it's actually comes from a place of concern for you, Sovan, as one of my good dear friends, that you finished playing Revengers of Vengeance and got the ending, and then you went back and played it again with different characters.
Yes, I've now finished it with 4 characters. I finished it with both the ones you've played as. I finished it with the Rhino guy, who I tried to name Rocksteady, but as as is the classic trope of video games, you can't fit the full name in. So
well,
I
you
had
could have if you had used the Japanese characters.
I don't know how to print that. Actually, you know, I don't think you could even do that because just the way it works. But yeah, I finished it with those three, and I just recently, as we were doing this interview, finished it with Barco.
So who's next on the list?
I'm not doing anyone else. This game is stupid. It is. I think the reason I go back to play it is secretly I am fascinated with the concept behind it. I like the idea of an RPG and a fighter and a bunch of other game genres merged into one. It's just, it's done so piss poor that everyone should play it as an example of how not to attempt to do that ever again. I mean, everything is broken. There's no indication of what to do. The physics are junk. The shooter levels are boring and repetitive. Nothing is balanced. Nothing. There's no ideas. No thought put into anything.
You're gonna play the dwarf guy next, aren't you?
I was probably thinking the harpy, actually.
Sylvan, thank you for beating Revengers of Vengeance for me and for the rest of the internet. We salute you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. And look after yourself, okay?
Yeah, we should play some more fighting games sometime.
So there you have it. In conclusion, Revengers of Vengeance is not as good as Mega Man. Thank you all for watching. I'm Brickroad. Good night.